Hi guys and welcome for this second video on political philosophy. In the first video we really tried to give a general introduction to what was the state of nature. Well, in this video we will speak about, well, the creator of this state of nature, of this concept, that is to say Thomas Hobbes. So Thomas Hobbes was a major political philosopher. He was born in 1588 and died in 1679. He was English and largely known for the Leviathan, his major masterpiece that he published in 1650. So, in the first part of this video, we will speak about Hobbes' conception of human nature, which actually is truly revolutionary. And in the second part, we will speak about the creation of the concepts of state of nature and natural law. In the third part, which also will be the last one, we will speak about the state of war of all against all. So, well, I'm pretty excited actually. I think it's time for us to begin this video. So, well, let's get started. The first thing to really know about Thomas Hobbes is that he was really a revolutionary philosopher. He really turned a lot of concepts upside down when it comes to political philosophy, and I think that the first great example of that is really his conception of human nature. Before, we would consider man as a social animal, a political animal, meaning that, well, man was born in a society, lives in a society, and couldn't live outside a society. Well, Hobbes will reject this proposition and will say that man is not a social animal, is not a political animal, but actually an animal as wild as any other one. So that's really something that is new in political philosophy. He will say that basically man has no predisposition for society, to live in a society. Yet, as any other animal, Hobbes will say that men have an instinct for conservation. He will call that the conatus, actually. Conatus is a concept that will be used too by Spinoza later. But well, yeah, as an animal, man is driven by a conatus, that is to say, an instinct for conservation, an inclination to survive, really a tendency to conserve his life. So it's really important to see two things here. That in the first place, well, man is not a social animal, he's just an animal like any other one, and being so, he is driven by the conatus, that is to say, this strong inclination to survive, this strong tendency to conserve his life. So it's really a brand new conception here that Thomas Hobbes is going to bring to the table, and this will really reshape all the political philosophy, and it's really an important thing to realize here. It's really a turning point in political philosophy because, well, men are not political animals, they're just animals and they are driven by a conatus like any other one. So it's really important to notice this. So this new conception of human nature will have two major consequences on political philosophy. And the first one is really to see that society doesn't exist in nature, but actually is constructed, has been invented by men for men. So it's really important to see that, because by saying that we understand that there was something before man lived in society. And actually that's something Hobbes is gonna call it, well, the state of nature. So the state of nature is basically the conditions men lived in before society. So Hobbes will really be the first one here to see that there was something before society, because he was really the first one to say that men are not, I would say, political animals, but animals like any other one. So it's really important here to see that Hobbes was really the first one to see that there was something before society. So it's really a key point here, and that's why it was so revolutionary. And the second consequence would be, I would say, about law. I don't know if you're familiar with the process of law, but basically the idea is really to see what man is supposed to be, what man is, and to make sure that actually men behave the way he's supposed to behave. So the main idea is really to see what's the definition of men, to see what are the duties of men, and then to give them the right to really, I would say, accomplish their duties. So it's really important to see this process. So basically, again, we see what is the definition of men, are we supposed to, I would say, behave, and then we try to see what is his duty, and once we have his duty, we give him the rights to accomplish this duty. So that's really the main process. And before Hobbes, actually, we would define man according to his essence. What is the essence of man? Well, that's actually Aristotle's definition of man. That is to say, man is a sensible animal. So, man being a sensible animal, what is his main duty? Well, his main duty is to be a sensible animal. So, what rights can we give to him in order to accomplish this main duty? So that's really the process, I would say, of defining liberties, rights, and duties. So it's really important to see this process because, well, with Hobbes, I mean, a lot of things are going to change. Indeed, Hobbes basically says that, well, we shouldn't define man by his essence, that is to say, a sensible animal, but by what he is capable of doing to conserve his life. What's the logic here? Well, the logic is pretty simple. For Hobbes, the main duty of man, as actually for any other animal, is to conserve his life, is to be alive, is to survive. That's the main duty, that's the ultimate duty for man. So it's really important to see that because, well, Hobbes is gonna ask himself, so what rights can we give in the state of nature to men in order to accomplish this duty that is to survive? Well, Hobbes is gonna say basically we should give men every right to do whatever they want, whatever it takes to stay alive. Whatever man is capable of doing, he should be allowed to do it. And that's basically his concept of natural law. So, under in the state of nature, man is under natural law, meaning that basically he has the right. He can do everything it takes to survive. He can do everything he is capable of doing to basically conserve his life. So that's really natural law. So once again, in the state of nature, man is under natural law, meaning that he has every right, basically, to do whatever it takes, whatever he's capable of doing to stay alive. That's basically natural law. So I know it's a bit confusing because, well, it seems like no law at all, and in some cases we could say yes, but that's natural law for Hobbes, and Hobbes will invent this concept truly of natural law. That is the law. The law that is in application in this state of nature. So yeah, it's kind of a total liberty basically because you can do whatever it takes to stay alive, but it's still natural law. So maybe you can now go on and actually go to the third part to really try to see what are the implications of that of natural law on, I would say, the state of nature. We've seen that in the state of nature, man is under natural law, meaning that they have every right to do everything they are capable of doing to conserve their life. Basically, they have every right to accomplish their main duty, that is to live. So it's really something that will be game changing because, well, it basically means that, well, your liberty doesn't stop where another one's begin. If you can do whatever it takes to survive, then, well, in this case, you can steal, you can kill. There's no issue if basically there is no law to say to you that you can do this. In natural law, you have every right to do whatever it takes to survive. So it's really something that is important to see here. If if I'm in the state of nature and consider that stealing from my neighbor could be, I would say, a great help for me to survive, well, I will do it because, well, it's the state of nature and I'm only seeking my own interest, that is to say, to live. So it's really something that is important here. And actually, if surviving means killing another one, well, I will do it because, well, it's the state of nature. So it's really important here to see. that, well, the state of nature is a state of war of all against all. So it's really important to see that in this state, man is a wolf for man. That's actually a quotation, a quote, sorry, from Hobbes. Here we go. Um, and I think again, Minecraft is an amazing example of what would be the state of nature like. If other players joined my server and started to play and decided that for their protection, for their for their life, it would be better to kill me. Well, they could do it, and actually, I'm probably sure they would kill me. So it's really important to see that if I mean even in Minecraft, that is for me the best illustration of what would be the state of nature like. Well, I would probably end being killed or being stilled. So it's really something that is important to see, that this state of nature is a state of war of all against all. And I think another great example to really try to understand what would be the state of nature like is, well, in cinema. In several movies, you can see this point, where everyone starts to fear for their own life, and it all becomes, I would say, a huge anarchy. Everyone is panicking, only thinking about their own interest. So it's really, really something that I would say would be the state of nature. And a great example of that is Titanic, for example, when the boat starts to sink. Sorry. Well, everyone starts to only, I would say, think about their own interest, about their own life, and well, you can see all the panicking, this state of anarchy. It's really something that would be, I think, the state of nature according to Hobbes. So. I mean, it's really not complicated here. We basically understand that that's not the paradise on earth. For us, on the contrary, it's actually a pretty dangerous state to live in. So, actually, since man is a sensible man, a reasonable man, he will understand that, well, he needs to live this state of nature. And the way to live this state of nature is to do a social contract. And the main idea of signing, I would say, a social contract, a social pact, is basically to let go some liberties in order to have more security, because that's the main point, living a state of nature because of insecurity. For Thomas Hobbes, man needs to live the state of nature because of insecurity. And the way to do this is by letting go some liberties that we have in the state of nature under natural law, in order to ensure more security for everyone. That's really the point here of, I would say, the Hobbes philosophy. And actually, that's really the first social contract theory. Sorry. So it's really important to see here how, I mean, the construction of all these things. Man is not a political animal. He's an animal like everyone else. He only thinks about saving his ass, basically. And in this state of nature, he is under natural law, meaning that he can do everything he needs to do to save his ass. But unfortunately, other people can also do whatever they want to save their asses. So basically, it's a huge state of war of all against all, and that's not the kind of security man is looking for. Man wants to be secure, and the best way to do this is to do a social contract, to let go some liberties to ensure security. That's the main point of Hobbes' philosophy. So I think that's gonna be all for today. I'm actually pretty happy about this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. In the next video, we'll speak about Locke's conception of the state of nature, and later we will speak more about the idea of the social contract. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, again, leave them in the comment section. And well, that's all for now. So thank you guys, and bye bye.